on that. He said that where these global warming scientists are putting sensors, it's like near air conditioning units, the exhaust, near hot cars, out in the sun. It's all set up. And I just want to say again, I admire you very much for saying what you're saying, because I know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, yeah, thank you. And as I joked earlier, I got into climate because I thought that's a nice quiet area. But and it's been very difficult taking the contrary, well, not a contrary view, but taking the view of the science that I see. But your questions about the where the instruments and the temperature measurements are being taken is that so many of the weather stations I mentioned earlier were at airports, and of course you've got the jet aircraft now pumping out a lot of heat. The other thing is that the airports are on the edge of the cities, and the cities are grown out around them. But also the condition of so many of the weather stations. The U.S. has got the best network in the world. You go to Africa, they don't even meet the basic standards for weather stations, number or quality. But there's a very good website kept by Anthony Watt, and his website's What's Up With That. And if you Google on it, you'll see that there's a www.surfacestations.org, and what he's been doing is looking at all of these, where these weather stations are located and the condition of them. And that's what you're referring to, that some of them are in the middle of the parking lot, some of them are sitting right next to air conditioning units, and so that they're horrendous. And of course, one of the things that's also been happening is that when they started closing down weather stations, and they also started using only a few of the weather stations, they picked those that were showing more warming. They reduced the number of rural stations, which show a different trend, and so there was a selection in the data that they were using. So it's part of the attempt to support the hypothesis that CO2 is causing warming when it isn't. But this is a game that they've been playing. And by the way, just to speak to that for a second, George, normally with a scientific hypothesis, you try to disprove it. What happened was that this got into the government agencies through the World Meteorological Organization, as I mentioned earlier, and they've just continued to try and prove the thesis. And anybody that dared to say, no, here's some facts that disagree, got attacked and called deniers and all the rest of it. And
it's very emotional, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they thwarted the scientific method, and so anything that came in that didn't fit what they wanted it to fit, they either ignored it, or they went out and created data that proved what they were trying to show. And the classic example of that was, of course, and I know you've talked about this on your program, was the hockey stick, which was a graph that literally rewrote history.
Hello? Elizabeth?
Hi.
What's up? I'm home.
Thank you for calling.
No problem. Did you want to call me later, or did you want to go to bed?
I'm going to watch this episode of The Real Housewives.
Mm-hmm.
And then can I give you a call?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
I'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay.
Love you, babe.
Love you too.
And talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Here we go.